Howdy, howdy, go back to the channel. And today, we got a video from the Cosmic Wonder. Doom will continue Kang's story. Multiple Doom variants in Avengers Doomsday.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Cosmic Wonder. We have a new Avengers Doomsday report to go over today that a lot of fans are really excited about. I've seen this online, and I actually think this new report makes a ton of sense on what Marvel really truly has planned for Avengers Doomsday if they are doing what
I'm hearing it's supposedly a female variant of Dr. Doom, bro. I wonder how lethal she gonna be. You know what I'm saying? You know, females and males, they a little different when it comes to certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like girls are a little bit more finesse when it comes to fighting and stuff like that. So I kind of wonder if the power and stuff is gonna be a little different between the female variants and the male variants, and what they could do, where they came from, etc., etc. You know what I'm saying?
They are doing, and it does.
You know what I do want to know as well? If there's a female variant, is it a possibility? I know this is a crazy question. Is it a possibility that wherever the female variant Dr. Doom came from, it's a universe full of the Avengers and stuff? They're female versions of the Avengers that we do have. You know what I'm saying? And whoever's a female in the Avengers that we do have became male, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Of Kang. We've been talking about Kang for a while now. There have been several reports about Kang,
and
it does seem like in some way, shape, or form, Marvel Studios is going to at least mention Kang and basically say that Doom is the person who defeated Kang. But what this really has to do with, this new report, is the multiversal war. And I love that they are actually kind of really just replacing Kang with Robert Downey Jr. and they've decided to keep most of the story, which is something that I am really excited for, because it doesn't make Loki and Loki season 2 and things that have happened with that story irrelevant. They're still relevant. It does seem like everything really is still kind of keeping the same trajectory that it was with the story, and they're just bringing in Dr. Doom and continuing that story. So basically, Marvel really did just replace Kang with Doom. Now, I did like Kang. I wish he was still the villain, and I wish Dr. Doom was set up a little bit differently. But based on everything we've been hearing, I like what they're deciding to do with Dr. Doom with the ending of the multiverse saga. Now, this report is coming from Daniel RPK. Daniel RPK says that Avengers Doomsday is going to reportedly feature multiple Dr. Dooms, including female variants of Dr. Doom, which I think is very interesting. But I
do think with them doing this, though, I wonder, is there going to be a Council of Dooms? Just like, you know, we've been hearing this, a Council of Reeds, bro. Is there going to be a Council of Dooms? And then in these Council of Dooms, bro, now that he's bringing up variants of Dr. Doom, is it possible that the variant that we see, that's the main variant for the movies, Avengers Secret Wars, you know, the one who took Franklin Richards, is he going to team up with the other variants of himself to fight the Avengers in Doomsday or in Secret Wars? Or are they just going to pop up in Avengers Doomsday for a certain second or whatever the case is? And it's kind of like y'all know how Green Lantern is with the big bobblehead people, you know what I'm saying? It's a council of them, but then they send out they send out the Green Lanterns to do their bidding, or, you know, whatever the case. It's kind of like that, you feel me? They pretty much using Dr. Doom, the variant that we see, as the field god, you know? That's what I'm wondering. Like, is it all of their plan? They all come up with this plan, the Council of Dooms, to make all this happen? Or was this the Dr. Doom that we see? Was it just his plan alone? That's what I want to know. Did he go rogue?
Again, I think this will be a really cool thing to see on screen, and I think it'll really show the true multiverse, seeing a lot of different variants of Dr. Doom. And I'm wondering if all are going to be played by Robert Downey Jr. I don't think the females will be played by Robert Downey Jr., but I do think we could get some really cool cameos of Dr. Doom. We've been thinking about Tom Cruise possibly playing a superior Iron Man, but what if he shows up as a variant of Doom? What if some of these Doom variants are actually Iron Man? There's a lot that they could do here. But here's the direction that I think that they are going with Dr. Doom. And in order to understand the direction that I'm talking about, we have to look at something that Kevin Feige recently said.
It's time to ask more of our browser.
Basically, he says kind of what he said before, but they had already decided to move away from Kang before Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I honestly think that is cap, because they then, like, right after the Ant-Man and the Wasp, was it Ant-Man and the Wasp, or is it Ant-Man and Quantum? Is that the same thing, bro? The last Ant-Man, bro. Didn't they, like, a little bit after or probably even before, didn't they release a Avengers King Dynasty like title or whatever? Basically saying like, yeah, we got a whole King movie set up. So I feel like that's cap, bro. I feel like he's saying that now because he's like, I gotta say something. You know what I'm saying? And I think he just don't want to like be on Jonathan Majors' head. You know what I mean? Be like, well, he got into a situation and we just didn't want that to be a part of our. I feel like that's what he's trying to avoid. You know, putting any shame on Jonathan Majors, because like I said, I do feel like Marvel and them still mess with Jonathan Majors, but I feel like they have a little understanding. Like, well, we, you know. When things happen, you know, we can't have that. And I know Jonathan Majors is like, I want to work with him, you know what I'm saying? But I understand their situation as well. But it still makes some people feel like, bro, Marvel should stand tall, you know what I'm saying? But then it's like, the way they kind of moving away from King, it does make it seem like it's always been the plan. But I just don't feel like it always has been. Especially if they came out with an Avengers King Dynasty title, like it was going to come out and they already made the script for it. I think they already had it done, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is what he said
this is just
in an interview very recently, last
document.
week with the Hollywood Reporter. He says, we had started even before what happened to the actor occurred. We had begun to realize that Kang wasn't big enough, wasn't Thanos, and that there was only one character who could be that because he had been that in the comics for decades and decades. Because of the Fox acquisition, we finally had it, and it was Doom. We started talking.
Dr. Doom owned, I said Dr. Doom owned. Fox owned Dr. Doom, like the rights to Dr. Doom or something? Because I ain't gonna lie, bro, we haven't seen Dr. Doom in none of the Marvel movies, have we? Now that I think about it, bro. I don't think we've seen, like, coming from Marvel, you know? I don't think we ever seen Dr. Doom. Damn, so how many characters do how many Marvel characters and DC characters does Fox have the rights to? That's what I want to know, bro. It seems like all these other companies got rights to all these characters, bro. The characters that we really want Marvel to have. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on, bro? What they do in the past, bro? They just started selling shit?
About Dr. Doom.
They must have been going
before we officially
in the
pivoted
past
from
and
Kang.
give up some,
in fact, I had begun discussing the audacious idea with Robert Downey Jr. before Ant-Man 3 even came out. It was a long plan that we had to take one of our greatest characters and utilize one of our greatest actors. So it seems like they knew they were going to pivot
shout out to
Kang,
RDJ,
and they had
man.
already been talking to Robert Downey Jr.
They just said he one of the best
specifically playing
actors
Doom.
in
And again,
Marvel.
the Russos and Marvel seem to say that there's a big connection between there's a big connection between Iron Man and Dr. Doom and why it had to be Robert Downey Jr. to return to play this character. But the point here is they had been working on a plan for a really long time.
A theory I've been hearing, bro, is that Iron Man always been Dr. Doom and Dr. Doom always been Iron Man, bro. And that the reason why Kang wanted to do whatever he was doing was to stop Dr. Doom or Iron Man because he was going to do something evil or whatever, you know. I wonder if they're going to show some light on that in this movie, like Dr. Doom and Tony Stark are one person, you know what I'm saying? They variants of each other. And I've been hearing that the Iron Man that we've been having the entire time is adopted Tony Stark. Like, I've been hearing so many weird stories, bro, you know?
What they're trying to do is connect Doom to
everything
that they have already set up in the multiverse saga, which is a smart move. It's really what they should do. But basically what that means is the events of Loki, you essentially are swapping out Kang for Doom or adding Doom to the story. Because what we learned in Loki is that there was a giant multiversal war. And
I got this
and this huge multiversal war was fought, at least according to He Who Remains, between him and his own variants. Now, He Who Remains...
Wait, so He Who Remains... Oh, wait, because Kang had variants too. I'm thinking, like, He Who Remains, are they really referring to Dr. Doom and Tony Stark? You know what I'm saying?
Would have lied. It might not have been just between him and his variants. It could have been with the Avengers. It could have been with the X-Men. It could have been with Dr. Doom. Because
did Kang have a fight with Dr. Doom for real?
We've heard about Avengers Doomsday. We have heard that Kang actually altered the sacred timeline. He got rid of the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Dr. Doom. He got rid of all of them. and created his own timeline basically where he could do what he wanted to do. Now, if we question why he did that, it would probably have something to do with because they opposed him before and they actually were a legitimate threat to him. So the multiversal war before could have actually been fought with...
But were they a bad threat to him? Like, were they a threat to him because he was finna do something bad? Because, you know, they were saying, like, you know, Kang was trying to do whatever he wanted with his timeline, whatever the case is. But it seemed like Dr. Doom is kind of trying to do the same exact thing. You know what I'm saying? So I could see him saying, like, they oppose, like, the Council of Dooms or whatever the case is, opposed Kang. And that's who Kang was fighting the entire time during Loki season 1 or Loki season 2 type, you know, but off screen. I could see it if they both had different plans, you know what I'm saying? But it seemed like they both want to do something evil, take over the world and, you know, be the god of the world, you know? So I don't see how they will oppose each other unless, you know, it really just comes down to who's going to be the one holding power, you know what I'm saying? They both want to do something evil, but two people can't lead, you know, it can only be one. So that's why they, you know, but I do feel like if that's going to be the case, they got to show it on the screen, bro. I feel like that's something they shouldn't just keep off screen. Which is why I feel like the Kang Dynasty, Avengers Kang Dynasty, would have been that, showing us what Kang was doing to pretty much showing us the battle between Kang and Dr. Doom. And then Avengers Doomsday could be showing us Dr. Doom after he won against Kang. They could have did it that way. Avengers Kang Dynasty didn't have to be that big, bro. Especially if there was going to be more Avengers movies coming out after that. You feel me? They could have had a little trilogy just like they had the Avengers first movie, then they had the Avengers Age of Ultron and Avengers Endgame, Infinity. They could have had that little trilogy going again, bro. Or was it? It's not even. It was like a quad. It was 4 movies, so it was more than that. You know what I'm saying? But they could have had that going again. Do y'all think it was a good idea for them to get rid of Avengers Kang Dynasty and just go straight to Avengers Doomsday?
Dr. Doom and Kang, and I actually think that's something they're going to kind of make canon when we finally get into Avengers Doomsday. And now in Avengers Doomsday, instead of continuing with Kang fighting Kang variants like the 3 that we saw, Ramatut, Immortus, the Scarlet Centurion, and all of the other just thousands and possibly millions, I mean really infinite amount of Kang variants that we saw, that is all turning into Doom variants. And the multiverse is at jeopardy here. Obviously, it's at jeopardy to be destroyed. And we know that our main Doctor Doom, from what we've heard from the leaks, if they are true, he is trying to save the multiverse. He could also be trying to save it from other variants of himself. He might actually be
so Dr. Doom might be the hero?
A good Doctor Doom who's going throughout the multiverse trying to save it because...
Bro stole a baby, bro. You can't be good and you stole somebody's head, bro. I'm just saying. But... now that we got this variant stuff going on with Dr. Doom, who's to say the one who stole Franklin Richards was the evil variant of Dr. Doom? And the Dr. Doom that we have, the main Dr. Doom, is actually the good one. But the one they showed us on screen was kind of like a trick, you know what I'm saying? To make us think it's the main Dr. Doom, but it's not. He's just one of the evil ones, you know what I'm saying? But from what I understand in the story, he does use Franklin Richards to do what he got to do. So I'm wondering, is Avengers Doomsday gonna really be a movie between Doctor Doom versus Doctor Doom? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm wondering, is it gonna be that, or at least like half of the movie is gonna be Doctor Doom versus the other Doctor Dooms? Or did this Doctor Doom, the main one, actually steal Franklin Richards? Because if he did, he's not good, bro. I'm just saying, you can't steal a baby and be good.
He lost his universe. He lost his family because he has realized that variants of other characters or just people in general are causing incursions. He could actually be good trying to stop all this while other variants of him are actually trying to dominate and rule the entire multiverse, just like
I can see that. That would be a crazy
with Kang, we had
plot,
He Who Remains. He kind of set it up to where the sacred timeline couldn't be disturbed by anything else. So in a way, he did kind of save it in his own messed up way that he thinks is right. But then you had the other Kang variants. You had the big 3 Kangs who wanted to dominate and rule it and basically do whatever they wanted with it. I think we're going to see the same thing with... Doom. We're going to have our main Doom who actually wants to save it, but he's also fighting other Dooms who want to rule everything, who
That'd
want
be a
to
crazy
be the ruler
start
of the
to
multiverse,
Avengers
which is a very
Doomsday.
Doom thing to want. Now, ultimately, our Doctor Doom is going to create Battle World, and the multiverse will be destroyed, and he will rule over it, because again, that's, just Doom. But I do think he'll make a legitimate attempt to try and save it in the beginning. But now, in Avengers Doomsday, we add another layer to the multiversal war, because it seemed like for a while, the multiversal war in Doomsday was really just going to be about the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, Loki and his team, all of them going up against Doom. But I like this extra layer added if this is...
What if Avengers Doomsday, Doctor Doom, are the main one that we have? Imagine he's the good one fighting the other Dooms, right? And the story really is Doctor Doom fighting the other Doctor Doom, right? What if the Doctor Doom, the main Doctor Doom that we have, what if he fights with our Avengers versus the evil version of the Avengers that's ran by the other evil Doctor Doom variants? What if the Doctor Doom we getting is actually the good one? He's on our side. Because maybe, I'm just throwing this out there since I'm already talking about it. Because he's actually Iron Man, who just got an upgrade or some shit, maybe. Came back, came back to life, and he had an upgrade, seen what he had to do to stop it, What if? I'm just saying. But let's just say he's not actually Tony Stark from but he's just a good Doctor Doom, and he decides to fight with our Avengers to fight against the evil versions of himself and the evil versions of our Avengers that's ran by the evil versions of himself. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot to take in. It is. I know. But I can see it going this way because the only reason I can see it going this way, bro, is because if he does have other variants, they're going to have to find a way to, make those other variants useful. You know what I'm saying? They can't just be they all on the same team. Well, they can't be they all on the same team, but you would think if there's other variants of Doctor Doom, they're going to be stepping too. They're not going to just be sitting in no damn chair. You know what I'm saying? They're going to go out and step a little bit too. But what would be the reasons why? Because if there's a council of Doctor Dooms versus the Avengers and stuff, I don't see no Avengers winning. I don't see them winning at all, bro. But it could be possibly the whole point is for them to lose. You know what I'm saying? So we can't act like it's a possibility at the end of this movie the Avengers is going to lose. And that's how we reset the MCU, is by them losing. And it being reset by Doctor Doom possibly is going to give us new Avenger characters. It can be that too, you know what I'm saying? This can go in so many different ways.
It's truly what Marvel Studios is going to do, of Doom not only having to fight all of the heroes that we know and love, but also having to fight
It's really got me thinking, which Doom is this going to be?
Everybody versus Doom, including other variants of Doom, and to actually watch him beat everybody, because that's what we believe is going to happen at the end. He's going to reign supreme. He'll defeat everybody. He'll create Battle World, and he will be that ruler. To watch him defeat not only the heroes, but also other villains as well, variants of him. And then I'm sure we're going to get other villains like, Thanos and Ultron returning as well. To watch him defeat everyone, that's actually going to make him just freaking insanely cool. And honestly,
bro, he got
power level that he should be, especially if he has a sorcery and the tech like the 10 rings and Kamala Khan's bangles. And more than that, this Doom is going to reign supreme, and it won't be until Avengers Secret Wars where they figure out a way to actually defeat him. But I love this idea of basically swapping in Doom for Kang, because Kang is gone. I would rather have had Kang stay and we continue with that story, but it is what it is. But I do like that they're basically continuing a story with Doom. There are other variants of Doom out there who want to rule the multiverse. There's a big multiversal war. Doom is fighting other Dooms, and also the Avengers and the other heroes. I really like this idea. But go ahead and let me know what
But I'm not gonna lie, I like the idea too, you know what I'm saying? But like I was saying, there's a lot of different ways they could go with Avengers Doomsday, bro. Especially if they bringing up variants of him. There's so many different ways they could go. And I feel like every single way, at least from what I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? Every way they could go, every option they have is a good option. But me personally, I do want to see him fight Kang or go against Kang in some type of way, bro. Because it seemed like no matter what, that was a part of the storyline. Kang versus Doctor Doom at some point, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, they gotta show us a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, we gotta see an hour and a half or something of they little situation, bro. You know, I want to see it. But y'all let me know, bro, how y'all feel about these variants of Doom, bro, and which variant of Doom do y'all think is gonna be the strongest one? Do y'all think it's gonna be the main one, like we believe it's going to be, or do y'all think Marvel's playing the trick on us, trying to finesse us? You know what I'm saying? If them bringing up the multiple variants of Doom, bro, can mean the Doom that we saw on screen take Baby Franklin could possibly not be the main Doctor Doom, which is possibly why we didn't see his face, maybe.